Chapter 16 is entitled Max's Mountain. The thought of leaving Colorado, of going back east or anywhere else, never entered our minds. There often were hard moments, but never enough to completely discourage us. During our second decade at Ski Tip Ranch, the entire town of Dillon was being torn down because of the building of a new dam. I remember a big sign over a gas station in Dillon that read, "We're doomed to be damned, but damned if we're doomed." Since Dillon would be flooded, that would eliminate the grade school, but not until our children finished 8th grade. Besmore offered to take Rolf and Sonny during their high school years, so she bought a small house in Aspen on the main street for $9,500. It has since become a restaurant. Besmore, now 80 years young, welcomed the idea of the children living with her and attending Aspen High. What a lucky choice this was. Both Rolf and Sonny were on the Aspen Junior ski team with classmates Mickey Barr, Billy Marot, who became Alpine Director of the U.S. ski team, Jimmy Huga, and Sharon Pajek. Some would be with them through their college years. All the years while Sonny and Rolf were in high school, we'd wondered about the enormous expense of sending them to college. Sonny, valedictorian, and salutatorian Ellen Feinsinger became roommates at Pomona College, where Sonny won a full scholarship. Rolf, who majored in fine arts, received an athletic scholarship at the University of Denver, where he was on the ski team. Our close friends, Peter Seibert and Fitzhugh and Eileen Scott, almost convinced us to move to Vail, the new big ski area. But throughout the years, Max persisted in his determination to make Keystone Mountain a ski area. Therefore, we had approached the U.S. Forest Service on the possibility of developing the mountain. Our good friend Dale Gallagher of the Forest Service would give us the best advice. After listening to us and looking over Max's new relief model of Keystone Mountain, he made this comment: "Time is of the essence. If you want to develop Keystone, you better move fast." The uphill part began with trying to raise money to get Keystone going. Max's first small corporation was successful in getting the Forest Service study permit and tying up the land use at the base. Beyond that, it all needed much more financial backing. Fortunately, our good ski friends from Iowa, Jane and Bill Bergman, stopped in one evening for cocktails. Hearing talk of the problems, they asked to see Max's model of the mountain. After viewing the model, Bill said, "Max, I think I can put together a corporation to get the job done. I know a company which can do it if anyone can. I've already put together one small corporation for them, which was successful. I don't think they'll be afraid to tackle this. If anyone can do it right, they can." "What's the company?" Max asked. "It's the Ralston Purina Company." For years we had looked up at the wooded slopes of Keystone Mountain with the late afternoon sun making deep blue shadows in the gullies. Max realized that now, with the support of a large corporation, we would someday ski on his mountain. Being an eternal optimist, Max had never given up. However, I confess, I often had feared that it would never materialize. As soon as the Keystone Corporation became reality, Max started to walk the mountain. "The only way the trails can be laid out correctly, Edna," he told me one day, is to know the entire mountain. Every morning, Max would put on elastic knee bandages to prevent any knee strain or injuries. He took no risks because he knew he would become the director of the Keystone Ski School. It was rough terrain, over downed logs, through thick timber. Fortunately, there were a few logging roads where he could drive the Jeep. To know the best terrain for ski trails, he needed to crisscross the entire mountain. As it all began to come together, I gradually realized how important it was for the quality of his planning that Max was a forester, a skier, and during the war, a logger. Also, his talents as an artist and draftsman made it possible for him to create the relief model and paint a picture of the future ski area as he envisioned it. Other people could then appreciate the fantastic possibilities of Keystone. One evening, I overheard Max telling some ski friends about Keystone. I've been especially lucky to have people like Bill Bergman, Mel Ball, and Hal Dean of Ralston Purina share my dream. I'm sure they're going to make it all possible. The minister of the Interfaith Chapel at Vail, Colorado, Don Symington, wrote about Max and Keystone in his article, The Other Side of Skiing, which appeared in the Skiing magazine in 1978. He wrote, "Skiing with Max Dercum is a ski lesson, a trip through history, a course in ecology, most of all, an experience of the special fraternity of skiing. Keystone is Max's mountain. It reflects his personal interest and his philosophy, a fascinating blend of recreation and ecology. His runs were designed with scenic profiles, the interplay of vegetation and vista, with a touch of adventure that you get by following the mountain's natural contours. He designed runs the whole family could enjoy. Steep pitch for Hotshot Jr., sweeping traverse around it for Mom. Cruising the slopes with him involves constant observations about improvements of wildlife habitat by opening up the forest, watershed benefits from snowmaking, and erosion control and sheltered clearings. Max is typical of a whole generation of skiers. They obviously love skiing much more for its sun, snow, shush, and sociability than for its fashions and foibles." Today, while sitting on the terrace of the mall at Keystone's Lodge, enjoying a gourmet lunch, I look across the lake, remembering it as a small beaver pond, with the distant mountains reflected in the still water. Now I see reflected a number of attractive new condominiums. It's hard for me to think back and believe all this change. Now we have both passed 65 and retired from active ski instructing and running Ski Tip Lodge. We are free to enjoy together skiing, racing, hiking, playing tennis, reading, and traveling. Max treasures spending his time playing his clarinet, sketching, and painting. We're so busy enjoying our life that we wonder how we ever found time in the past to work. Snug in our new home, built high on the slope of Lenawee Mountain, we're part of the dramatic view just up the road from Ski Tip Ranch. It's late afternoon and I can hear Max's chainsaw as he is busy clearing our own short practice slope behind the house. This'll keep us both in shape for future ski seasons. I wonder if we we'll get to ski in heaven. If St. Peter gives me wings, I think I'll trade them in for skis.